Excel Wizardry. Are you ready to transform your Excel skills and become an Excel wizard? In today's video, we'll explore 10 essential Excel tips and tricks to boost your productivity in 2024. Whether you're new to Excel or a seasoned user, these tips will help you work smarter and more efficiently. Let's dive in. So tip number 1 is keyboard shortcuts. Learning a few key shortcuts can save you a ton of time. For example, Control plus C for copy, Control plus V for paste, and Control plus Z for undo. So for instance, if I type here this number 20 and 30 and 50, and I want to copy this data, so I press the Command C and Command V, and that pastes the data here in these new cells. And to undo, I press Control Z. And one of my favorites is Control plus Shift L. So Control Shift L, and this is on MacBook. Control Shift L, and that will quickly turn off filters, on and off. So this is on MacBook. It's Control Shift L. Sorry, not Command Shift L. It's Control Shift L, and that quickly turns filters on and off. My next shortcut. So my next tip is Flash Fill. So this feature automatically fills in values based on patterns it detects. For instance, if you have a column of first names and a column of last names, you can use Flash Fill to combine them into a full name. So just start typing the combined name, and Excel will suggest the rest. So here, for instance, we have the first name. Here is column of first names. In this column, in column A, and in column B, we have the last names. And in here in column C, we have the full name with the first and last name. So in here it's same and more, and this one is inward layer. So you can use Flash Fill to put the rest of to get the full names for the rest of these cells. So, and how you do that is you can just select this, go here, tell me, click on tell me, and then type in Flash Fill. So let me select it one more time. And I think you have to select all of this and go to here and click Flash Fill. And yes, that'll gives the rest of it. So this is actually one way. One way is going to tell me, click on tell me, and searching for Flash Fill, and then selecting the cells here and getting it. It'll fill in the rest of it for you. That's one way of finding the Flash Fill feature in Excel. My next tip is quick analysis tool. So actually not the quick analysis tool, but using the charts tool in Excel to visualize data. So here I have a table of items and sales. So there's 10 items, and sales start from 150 and they go to 1050. So from here you have to click and drag select cells from A1 to B11, and then you can format as a table. So I went to here, you can select this and go to format as a table, and select which one you want, which I selected already here to create this table. And now you can click on, so you highlight these cells and you go on insert, and then here chart, and I wanted a 2D column chart, so this is what I have here. And so you can easily it shows you can easily create, visualize your data in Excel. It's showing that it shows how it's very easy to quickly analyze and visualize data using this charts tool in Excel. And here you can even like edit the chart title, and here it's showing the key, and you can edit it and show you can put labels for the here for these items, and then for sales, so you can put sales here, and items you can label it also if you want. And there's lots of options here too, border and fill if you like. And the next tip I want to show you is conditional formatting. So this allows you to highlight cells based on specific criteria. For example, you can highlight all cells greater than a certain value, or use color scales to visualize data ranges, and it makes your data more readable and visually appealing. So for instance, if I have the cells, these numbers here, 1500 and 2000, which are both greater than 1000, and I want to highlight these cells and make them in a different color. So how I can do that is that I can select the range of cells here. So I select these two cells and I go to home, conditional formatting, and then highlight cell rules and select greater than, and I enter 1000, and that will fill it with light red fill. So it will be these cells will be filled with light red color and dark red text. So you can choose whatever formatting style you want, and as you can see here, so it did as it said, and these two cells are both in red color. The next tip I want to show you is data validation. So data validation helps ensure that the data entered into your sheet is accurate and consistent. You can restrict entries to specific types like dates or numbers, and even provide a drop-down list for users to select from. So in order to do data validation, for instance, we have these, let's say we have these items listed here: electronics, furniture, clothing, stationery, kitchenware, and so, and in order to get this drop down which we want, we select these cells here. So excluding this one, I just did it in advance. You just select these cells here, and then you can go on, click tell me, and search for data validation, and then click on validation, and then so this is what we want. We click OK, and then it'll present these drop down get these drop down values. So that's pretty helpful. For it makes it easier for to select, that the whatever drop downs you want, and the users can select from when they, so these are the choices that users can select from when they click on the drop down arrow in these target cells. So another tip I want to show you is freeze panes. So freeze panes is perfect for keeping headers or key columns visible as you scroll through large data sets. To freeze the top row, let's say we have these row of numbers 20, 30, and 10, and they're each in their own column. So we want to freeze the top row, so we can go to the View tab and then click on freeze top row, and then if you want to freeze the first column, then we can also do that to here. And to unfreeze the panes, we click this, and that will unfreeze those panes. The next tip I want to show you is text to columns. So actually, the next tip I want to show you is removing duplicates. So before the remove duplicates tip, I'll show the text to columns tip first. Actually, so the text to columns is a handy tool for splitting text into separate columns. And if you have a column with a combined data like city, state, you can use text to columns to separate them. You just select the column, go to the data tab, and click text to columns. So for instance, here I want to split this name same and more into separate columns. So in order to do that, I go to data. So I select it, and I go to data, and then I go to text to columns, and then I choose delimited characters such as columns or tabs to separate each field. Then I click next, and then I go to select the space. I select space, and then I click finish, and that will separate this with the space, the first and last name. The next step I want to show you is removing duplicates. And so removing duplicates is simple with Excel. Select your data. You select your data range, go to the data tab, and click remove duplicates, and this helps clean up your data and ensures accuracy. So for instance, I have a list here of product IDs, and some of these IDs are duplicated. Like as you can see, 1, 2, and 3 are duplicated here, and so we want to remove those. So in order to do that, we click and drag the range containing the data. In this case, we select cells A1 to A10, and then we go to the data tab, and then we click on remove duplicates. So let's see if it's here. Yes, remove duplicates, and we uncheck this the box that says my list has headers, because we have no header. Since our list doesn't have a header, so we uncheck this box here, and then we only want column A. So we select that, and we click on OK. And so as you can see, the 3 duplicate values found and removed, and 7 unique values remain, which is what we want here. And so this example demonstrates how we use this Excel's remove duplicates feature to clean up a list by removing duplicate entries, and this is particularly useful for ensuring data accuracy and consistency, especially in large data sets. Next step I want to show you is pivot tables. So pivot tables are a powerful way to summarize and analyze data. They allow you to quickly create reports and identify trends. So you select your data, go to an insert tab, click pivot table, then you drag and drop fields to create your report. So I have an example of I want to create a pivot table. So I have this data here. So suppose I have the sales data for different products across various regions and months. So I click and drag to select the range here. And then I click on the insert tab, and I click on pivot table. And in the create pivot table dialog box, I ensure that table range is correctly listed, and I choose whether to place it in a new worksheet or existing one, and I click OK. So let me just do that one more time. So you go to here, and then you click on insert and go to pivot table, and let's say I want it on a new worksheet. So then I configure the pivot table. I drag the product, all these, and so here's the pivot table showing the row labels and count product, count month, and then sum of sales. So as you can see, this makes it pretty neat, summarizing the data and showing with it concise. As you can see, these 4 regions here, and then the 3 months. So the pivot table summarizes the sales data, showing total sales for each product across different regions, and grand totals are calculated for each row and column, providing a quick summary of the data. And pivot tables are powerful tools for quickly summarizing large data sets, allowing you to see patterns and insights without manually calculating totals or averages. They're especially useful for analyzing sales data, financial reports, inventory management, and many other types of data analysis. Lastly, my last tip is I want to show using formulas in Excel, and I want to show how the VLOOKUP, if, and SUMIF formulas are used in Excel. And so advanced formulas are like VLOOKUP and if statements, and these help you perform complex calculations and data analysis. So let's say I have this example data set, And so let's say I have this example data set and I want to, so the first formula is to find the sales figure for a specific sales representative. And it's, so first I want to type here. So I type here equal to VLOOKUP, and I type in Alice. Then I set the cells I want, A2 to C9, 3, and then the false, enter false. And so that returns, as you can see, returns the value of 700. And then now the next one, I want to, so this formula looks up the sales figure for Alice in the range A2, returns the value from the third column sales. Next, I want to show the if formula. So the objective is to determine if a sales representative sales meet a target, for example, 600. So we type here equals to, we use the if function, and we type in, so C2 is greater than or equal to 600. Then we will say the target met. And then otherwise we say target not met. So you can see that the target is not met. So it's showing that this formula checks if the sales in cell C2 are greater than or equal to 600, and in this case it's 500, so which is less than 600, so that's why it returns target not met. Last one I want to show you is the sum if function. So that calculates the total sales for a specific region, for example, north. So if I enter here and I use the sum if function, and I say, so we want B2 to B9, and we want the north region, and C2 to C9. So that gets 1100 as the result. So this formula sums the values in the sales column C2, where the corresponding region column B2 equals north. So by applying these formulas to the dataset, you can efficiently perform lookups, conditional checks, and conditional summarizing, making your data analysis more dynamic and insightful. So those were all my tips, and I hope you found them useful and learned how to quickly visualize data and the formulas and also the other features in Excel, such as the chart column feature and data removing, how to remove data duplicates, how to remove duplicates in the data, and also doing data validation in Flashfill. And so that's it for today. That's it for today's video on essential Excel tips and tricks. I hope you found these tips helpful and that they make your work in Excel easier and more efficient. Don't forget to subscribe to Excel Wizardry and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. If you have any questions or tips of your own, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.